News 12 Varsity presents the Hospital for Special Surgery Game of the Week. Tonight from the Prudential Center in Newark, it's a Garden State ice hockey showdown as the Ironmen of Don Bosco Prep take on the Falcons of St. Joseph's. Hello again, everyone. Lou Brogno with you on the call alongside Dan Savarino. We welcome you to the Rock. North Jersey versus Central Jersey tonight. Don Bosco Prep, without question, the hottest team in the tri-state area. They've reeled off 16 straight wins. And St. Joe's playing their best hockey of the season. A big challenge for the Falcons tonight.
Yeah, 7 wins in their last 8 games for St. Joe's as well, in a group that is very young, inexperienced, but a lot of potential out there. It's almost David versus Goliath in terms of at least the amount of experience you have on the ice today. But listen, it's the same ice surface, despite the fact that you have the 15,000 seats around you and all the Devils logos here. But you have a really good challenge today. Maybe the best team in the entire state in Don Bosco, who has been so good all season.
Well, the Ironmen feature one of the most dynamic and explosive offensive players in the tri-state area in their senior captain, Tyler Sedlak.
Well, it's fitting we're on an NHL ice. This guy has an NHL-like shot. Quick release, Tyler Sedlak. Only 2 players in Don Bosco history have ever achieved 200 career points. Guess what? He is one of them. It happened just last night in a 5-point outing.
On the other side for the Falcons of St. Joseph's, well, the opposite, number 17, is a phenomenal freshman, Ivan Borisov. He's got 13 goals on the season for the Falcons.
Maybe a little fitting, number 17. Ilya Kovalchuk was here last night, but Ivan Borisov comes in as just a freshman, and he has made an immediate impact early on. He's so quick. He's got that lefty shot, can dangle right past you. He is a tough matchup. He's going to be a good player in this state for a long time.
So we're just moments away from the drop of the puck. Don Bosco Prep in St. Joe's. It's coming up next here on News 12 Varsity. Our national anthem here at the Prudential Center. Don Bosco Prep, as we said, coming in 19-1 on the year. They've won 16 straight. They're 12-1 in the mighty Gordon division. That is quite a feat against that kind of competition. The head coach of the Ironman is Greg Toscos. It is 13th season, over 200 wins, 206 to be exact. Played his college hockey at Boston College. All-time leading scorer for Bosco when he played for the Ironman. And on the other side for St. Joe's, Ryan Carter, 1991 grad, has been at the helm of the Falcons for this his 12th season. An all-state player with his career with the Falcons. He had 75 goals for St. Joe's when he played for the Green and Black. So we are ready to go. Bosco and St. Joe's. As we said, Dan, this is quite a challenge for the Falcons tonight, but they are playing their best hockey of the season, and they hope that they can make a good showing here against, without question, the number 1 team in New Jersey.
Yeah, these two groups like to play one another at this point of the season because it's those couple of weeks right before you get a chance, to play those county tournaments as well as a chance to get into states.
St. Joe's comes in 10 up, 7 down, 1 tie. They're undefeated in the Greater Middlesex Conference. They're 4-0 in the GMC. Bosco in their white and maroon, and the Falcons in their green uniforms tonight. In goal for Don Bosco, Max Schwartz, who's had a terrific season, 94% save percentage, 1.47 goals against average. He's 16-1 on the year, has 3 shutouts. And the Falcons, their outstanding sophomore Eddie Caven, who just steered that aside. He's got an 89% save percentage. And Dan, he's a sophomore, but he has a lot of experience. He started last year as a freshman.
Throw him into the fire as a freshman.
That shot deflected to the side of the goal and dug out by Jake Howard of Don Bosco Prep. And going back to get it behind the goal, Dmitry Ignatov. Here comes Bosco across center ice. Zach Hammond, sophomore, converted defenseman, now playing forward.
Lou, when you look at these keys to the game, obviously for Don Bosco, something you want to see you got to ramp up the intensity. You're getting into the toughest part of your schedule. You have the Gordon Cup in the next week and a half, and then you have states. This is the time of year that is so difficult for them. They need to be playing their best hockey and running those 4 lines deep that they have. They have a very deep roster. And as well, use that size advantage. You know, you're playing a group that is generally younger, so you always wonder how they match up with the physicality.
Bosco wins the face-off. Ironmen carry in, but it's slapped away there by the Falcons. Good defense. And it's carried up ahead, but going back to play it, Michael Rubin of Don Bosco Prep, and he sends that puck up across center ice. St. Joe's intercepts at center, and then Bosco re-intercepts. Here come the Ironmen as they break across. A quick shot gloved there by Caven. And we'll have a face-off to the right of Eddie Caven. Here's a look at St. Joe's Keys. What do they have to do to win today?
200 by 85 is the same rink, Lou. It doesn't make a difference where you are. You know, don't get caught up with the bright lights and the big scoreboards. Play to your potential. That is something that Coach Ryan Carter was a little concerned about coming in. He said, I'm not concerned necessarily with Don Bosco. I'm more concerned our guys won't play to the ability they have and also avoid the box, because Don Bosco's got a pretty darn good power play.
This is Connor Sedlak who gets to the puck and flips it up along the boards, then sent all the way down the ice by Ty Carter, the senior defenseman, who, by the way, is the son of head coach Ryan Carter. He's had a good year, 2 goals, 11 assists, and 8 goals last year for the Falcons. Don Bosco Prep, you know, Dan, we talked about, obviously, you're 19-1, they've won 16 straight, but I think the most impressive thing that sticks out about the Ironmen, they have beaten Del Barton twice this year. 3-1 back on November 24th, and 3-0 on January 8th. They've outscored the Green Wave 6-1. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah, only lost this year to CBA, came in game number 3, and CBA just lost last week to, guess what, Del Barton. So, you know, I know last year they split the regular season, and of course Del Barton has the upper hand in them the last couple of years in the state championship. But the way they were playing from really the start to finish this year, not much of many hiccups, and you still, in a way, want to see more, because that's how good this group is.
Slapped in by the Ironmen behind the goal. That was Dmitry Ignatov. And playing it for St. Joe's, Mike Sasso, the senior, flips it behind the goal. St. Joe's trying to clear it, but it's slapped right back in by the Ironmen. Now taken at center ice, Danny Bradshaw, the junior, carries up for the Falcons. And it's banged back out to center. St. Joe's doing a good job. Norman Matei, the junior, carries in. Now Bosco has a 3-on-2. Ironmen carry up. Here's a slap shot kicked aside by Caven. Nice save by Eddie Caven.
And it only happens because, guess what, on the other end, Max Schwartz is very comfortable getting out of his net. Fires a pass right up the middle, and that's what leads off a chance for Sedlak to slap one in the slot, and usually that's going into the back twine.
You see Eddie Caven, just a sophomore, a promising young goaltender for the Falcons. This is a young St. Joseph team. Last year finished 10-11-1, a rare sub-500 record for the Falcons, who have been one of the really solid programs year in and year out, coming out of Central New Jersey, the Greater Middlesex Conference.
Eddie Caven only in that second year started bringing up a 4, Lou, but you know, you're thrown into the fire as a freshman. What better way than when you come in as a freshman, you see that experience, and now you have basically just about the same game experience as some seniors do who kind of start for the first time. So age really doesn't matter there. It's really what you're seeing on the ice.
Here is Sedlak. They tried to feed Tyler Sedlak, who's been sensational this year. 31 goals, 25 assists. And as Dad mentioned earlier, 200 career points. Slapped away. Good defense once again by St. Joe's as they were able to get into the passing lane. Danny Bradshaw knocks that away. And going back to play it, Will Fortescue of Don Bosco Prep. Crossing pass, intercepted, then back onto the stick. Good pass in front, set up nicely, but slapped away in the crease. Good defense by the Falcons.
I think Sasso got a piece of that 26 in green, and that's what kept it out of the net.
Back to the blue line, kept in by the Ironman. A wicked shot, took a tough bounce, but Gaben was able to steer it aside. On the side is Metuchen, who carries up for St. Joe's, and then cleared out by Schwartz of Bosco. 9 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the first period. No score here at the Prudential Center. Big thrill for these kids to play here. Bosco has played here the last several years, but this is the first time ever for St. Joe's playing at the Prudential Center, a program that's been around for 33 years.
It's something that Don Bosco loves to do because they always say, you know, it's the extra experiences. It's not just about going out there playing with the guys. To play City Field last year at the outdoor rink after the Winter Classic, to play here at the Prudential Center. It's cool.
Bosco slapping at it in front. Puck still loose and then banged in. So Bosco gets the first goal of the game. Robbie Greenleaf gets the goal, the junior. And the Ironmen take a 1-0 lead.
Well, Don Bosco started to pick up the intensity and getting some more pucks on net in the last couple of minutes. And this play ends up having 3 guys down low. Just throw something at the net. You had the opening. You didn't really have any of the guys in position at that point, and you have the advantage down low because it was essentially 3-on-2. Look at that, 3 bodies, 3-on-1 in a way, and it was too easy for Greenleaf to just pot it in for a 1-0 lead.
So the Ironmen get the first score of the game, and they have a 1-goal advantage. 9 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the first, trying to win their 17th straight game. Slap shot sails up over to the outstretched arm of Max Schwartz, and the Ironmen come back the other way. Quickly across center ice is Connor Sedlak. He takes it into the corner, ridden off the puck by Matt Samarelli of St. Joe's. And a slap shot deflected in front and taken away by Mike McElwain, of St. Joe's. Cross ice pass. And it's knocked away by Dean Rocco. St. Joe's doing a good job getting in the passing lanes.
Forgione Grassi going to get the helpers on that Greenleaf goal, his 3rd of the season. Coming off a night where he had an assist in their win against St. Peter's Prep. You got to start seeing here from St. Joe's is they've been able to get the puck in a neutral zone, but they haven't gotten it down deep here. And the reason why is because they're so good at getting to the puck, Don Bosco, back in their own end. It also helps when Max Schwartz is so comfortable getting out of the cage.
Tyler Sedlak with the feed up ahead. He's so quick up and down the ice. Fight for the puck in the corner, won by the Falcons. Nice job by Dean Rocco, the junior, but he cannot clear. Bosco keeps it in. Backhand pass, intercepted by the Falcons and cleared to center ice. And the Ironmen will reset. Don Bosco Prep with a 1-0 lead, 7:35 remaining. Here's a shot opportunity perhaps for St. Joe's. Unable to keep control was Borisov, though. Borisov skated in. He had an opportunity, but could not pull the trigger.
I'm pretty sure it was that pass from Sasso was the one who was right in front of the bench and hit Borisov. But immediately, he has 3 guys right on him. He just couldn't get it right to the part of the blade where he's able to really release anything on there. Couldn't have complete control. But also now the first time we'll see a face-off in the Don Bosco zone. So get something going here. Get a little forecheck.
Joe Morello took the face-off for the Falcons, but Bosco wins the face-off, and Will Fortescue flips it up towards center ice. Intercepted at the blue line by A.J. Pino. And the Falcons come back the other way across center. Ty Carter dumps it in. Played by the Ironman at center and tipped up ahead by Liam Niklinski, who's had a terrific year. The captain, looks like a hand pass called. And so the faceoff will come back out of the zone. You know, you talk a lot about Tyler Sedlak, and deservedly so, but Liam Niklinski, another one of those captains on this team, he's got 22 goals and 35 assists. Another potent offensive player.
And became the 9th player to hit 100 career points in a Don Bosco uniform. Another 4-year guy, captain of this group, and heading to Quinnipiac. He's a commit.
Bradshaw intercepts, and that one goes right through the crease past Schwartz. And it comes back to center ice. Played nicely by Michael Forgione. And then slapped all the way down as Caven tried to play it behind the goal, and the Ironmen able to keep it alive. Here's an opportunity perhaps for Bosco. Crossing pass intercepted, though. Good job by number 27, Joe Morello. Got his stick on the puck. 6:20 remaining in the first. Ironmen up 1-0. St. Joe's trying to get something going offensively. Here's Dean Rocco, who takes it across the blue line, skates in. Rocco leaves a pass, but nobody home to receive it. And now the Ironmen break out the other way. Bosco flying up the ice. That shot goes to the side of the net. Big check delivered in the corner by Dean Rocco. Quick shot, puck loose in front, and slapped in by Sedlak. So Tyler Sedlak cleans up there and slaps it home, his 32nd goal of the season. And Bosco goes up 2-0.
Too many guys getting to the top of the blue paint, and the only reason this play happens, I think, is because they try and throw the body on McClinsky early on. So by throwing the body on him so early, it takes someone out of position, and this guy adds another one to a great milestone. Now 206 career points. He has a chance to pass Tosco's. I don't know, might be tough because it's still a long way ahead. But coaches even said, and I had a conversation with him last week. He was telling us this. We had a conversation about this very same thing last week. If you're passing me, that's great. That means we went all the way.
Greg Tosco, the all-time leading scorer when he played at Don Bosco Prep. 229 points, 129 goals.
Don Bosco goals for number 17, Tyler Sedlak. Assisted by number 3, J.G. Rossi. And number 2,
cleared out by St. Joe's. Ty Carter sends it to center ice. And giving chase, Ryan Ozymanek unable to get there. And here come the Ironmen. Quickly across center. 5 minutes remaining in the first. And Bosco up by the score of 2-0. Going back to play at TJ Schweigert, another one of the captains on this Bosco team. Senior, 10 goals and 22 assists on the year for him.
St. Joe's needs to start making some smarter outlet passes here. You're seeing Don Bosco attack those walls pretty well. You got to use in different ways, because I don't know how many icings there's been so far here in the first period, but definitely at least 5 or 6 for the St. Joe's side. Down 2-0. Listen, game's far from over. You have a lot of hockey to still play. You have been able to at least generate some breakouts. Now you just need to get some pucks to the net, because you have not tested Shorts at all tonight.
St. Joe's trying to flip it out of their zone, and they do get it up ahead to Borak. Mark Borak feeds it ahead, but again, Bosco getting back defensively to take it away. Borisov trying to create some commotion behind the goal, but too many white jerseys. Now here's a feed to Borak.
See, Don Bosco again, Lou. They just are so good at being able to get the puck back in their own end. The minute that St. Joe starts to get on a forward check, they're right there. This defense is just so stout. It was a puzzle that started from the beginning of the season, and every guy just kind of sat right in. There's so many players on this group that have very similar skill sets, and that's a good thing.
Kept in by the Ironman at the blue line. And carried in, another opportunity. Caven makes the save. Puck is loose behind him and then slapped in and in. Another goal. Again, it's Greenleaf. That would be his second of the first period. And the Ironmen lead it 3-0.
Well, the Falcons have had a really tough time right around that blue paint, and nothing you can really do if you're Eddie Caven at this point. Tries to cover it up on the post, and it just doesn't slip right through. But it's just getting guys and getting bodies to the net. And even though you have your numbers there, getting it across. I'll tell you what, Zach Hammond has played himself a heck of a first period thus far because he has been creating a lot of opportunities with his speed, his vision, and even though he hasn't been the one to light the lamp yet, Greenleaf is the one who pots it home again.
Danny Bradshaw pursuing the puck in the corner, then played by Joe Morello of St. Joe's. 3 minutes remaining in the first, and Bosco off to a good start. The Ironmen are up by 3 early goals. Don Bosco Prep, of course, earlier this year, just a couple of weeks ago, won another Bergen County championship. It's the 8th straight year that the Ironmen have won the Bergen County title. Quick slap shot, Caven makes the save and covers up. So a good job that time by Caven as he had that one zeroed in all the way.
Quick breakouts, getting pucks to the net. You know, Caven is so worried because he has too many guys attacking at once that sometimes when he's trying to slide over and make the stop, he's not completely controlling the rebound. And that is just what Don Bosco does to you because they have hard shots and they know how to get bodies to the net.
Bosco controls the face-off. And it's sent up ahead by St. Joe's trying to clear it out. And they do get it across center ice. But retrieving it is Michael Rubin of Bosco. And he carries up ahead. Rubin still with the puck. Finally ridden off the puck in the corner. This is Liam Niklinski. This is the feed Hunter McGee. Slap shot stopped by Caven. Quick wrist shot to the left of Caven. Good puck movement here by Don Bosco Prep, and a wicked shot taken up top that time by Rubin.
First career tally last night.
Another quick shot, and again Caven makes the stop. Nice stick save, and a little extracurricular activity between Tyler Sedlak and Dean Rocco. Nothing major.
And another play in another similar situation. One guy already down low, below the D. Another one crashing the net on the other side, and then the guy who has the puck on his stick. It's just what Don Bosco has done all first period. And I think the first real 5 minutes of this game, Lou, was a real feeling out process. You know, neither team was doing too much, a little bit slow on the starts, but eventually now you're starting to see the Ironmen get comfortable and know exactly how to attack this St. Joe's group.
Going back to play the puck, Jeff Allen, sophomore for the Falcons. Then played at center ice, crossing pass intercepted by St. Joseph's. Bosco defense just so tough, not allowing St. Joe's any penetration whatsoever. Final minute of play in period 1. It has been a period dominated by Don Bosco Prep. Jeff Allen intercepts and flips it into the Bosco zone. It's played by TJ Schweigert, and he sends it across to Jake Girassi. Girassi up ahead. Connor Sedlak flips it through the crease. Played by Mark Garfinkel. Final 20 seconds of the period in front. Here's a quick shot. And a beautiful play by Caven. I think he got his stick on it as Bosco had a golden opportunity to get their 4th goal of this first period.
Yeah, that sounded like a goalie stick, even though Sasso was coming across as well.
St. Joe's clears it out, and that should do it. So the first period comes to an end. It is a first period dominated by the Ironmen as they score 3 goals, and they have a 3-0 lead. So the Ironmen skate to the locker room. Good first period for them as they look for their 17th straight win. Score after 1, Don Bosco Prep 3, St. Joe's 0. And of course, this is brought to you by HSS, the #1 hospital for orthopedics with locations in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. The best is now nearby. Well, in between the first and second period, Don Bosco Prep enjoying a 3-0 lead over the Falcons of St. Joe's here at the Prudential Center. Well, earlier this week, News 12 Scholar Athlete was named Frankie Williams of Fannie Lou Hamer. News 12 Bronx's Dan Seraphin has the story.
During weekly yoga sessions, Fannie Lou Hamer senior Frankie Williams is calm, peaceful. His entire team there, their bodies feel stronger.
The 2017 season, I had broke my ankle, and I couldn't play the whole season. And we figured, like, hey, maybe yoga could help.
But around his school, Frankie gets a little more fired up, especially when asked to speak his mind.
I just love speaking to people. I just love having conversations and just speaking. Like, it's just outspoken person, and I just love it.
Opinionated and intelligent, the second of which wasn't always the case. Frankie admits during his middle school years, he was satisfied barely passing. But coming into high school, his basketball coaches sparked a change.
They had a conversation with me like, listen, you have this talent, and with this talent, you need grades. And, that just sparked a plug in my head, and it was just from there on, high grades. And, it made my mom proud, so why not?
These championship trophies are, of course, a part of the legacy Frankie is leaving here at Fannie Lou Hamer. He's got bigger goals for his future. Getting one or two more of these during his senior season on the court, then going to college and getting a degree in finance.
Right now, if we win another championship, we'll make history again.
Last week, Frankie was honored at the school during senior night. He says he's enjoying every moment. At Fannie Lou Hamer, Dan Seraphin, News 12, the Bronx.
Thanks, Dan. Great story on Frankie Williams. And our score here in between the first and second periods, Don Bosco Prep looking for their 17th straight win and their 20th of the season. So far, they're well on their way. They're up 3-0 over the Falcons of St. Joe's. Long way to go, though. Second period upcoming shortly here from the Prudential Center on News 12 Varsity. And the M&M Zamboni here at the Prudential Center is cleaning up the ice between the first and second periods. Don Bosco Prep pretty much cleaned up in that first period. They lead it by the score of 3-0, and the Ironmen just really relentless, Dan, at the goal, right in front of the crease.
The first couple of minutes, that feeling out period, and then here they go. Don Bosco Prep, quick passes, getting down low, forcing some turnovers here, but you get too many guys getting right around the cage. And when you're trying to defend, this is Greenleaf who put in his first of two this period, you just don't have enough there. Borisov had the real only opportunity coming ahead. You felt some kind of intensity. Now it's after a really good outlet pass. Just couldn't get the puck there. And then on the other side, you see Sedlak put one home just because, again, three guys down low, and the defense for St. Joe's just not picking up that trailer each and every time. They always say it's the old cliche, get bodies deep, get pucks to the net. Well, guess what? We saw that from Don Bosco the whole first 15 minutes, and that's how they put all three of their goals in.
So the Ironmen get 3 goals in that first period, and they have a very comfortable 3-0 lead. We talked about the success that Bosco has had over their last 10 games. How about that victory over Del Barton on January 8th? That got them going over the last 10.
These are some of the top teams also in non-public. When you look at this schedule and the fact that they have had really no issue with any of these teams up to this point, it is so impressive. And I think something that Coach Toskos wants them to do is, of course, he brought up about, well, I got to see them pick up the intensity at this point. Sometimes when you're playing so well against this competition, you can have that confidence, but you always forget. One game come the playoffs, one game come the state playoffs, things just can change drastically, and they want to play here again for a championship.
As you see, over the last 10 games for the Ironmen, only 3 games within 3 goals, so they have dominated. St. Joe's, on the other hand, as we said, they've been playing their best hockey. They've won 3 in a row and had a nice streak as well, knocking off Morristown Baird, Old Bridge, who's a GMC team as well, so they've been playing pretty good hockey. And then, of course, their last win against Notre Dame by the score of 5-2, and a big win against South Brunswick in early February as well.
After starting 3-5-1 this season, when you have such a young roster, you start in so early into the season, it is sometimes tough to, get things going in that first couple of months because you have the tryouts, you have guys who come back, also a very young team, and then you just look at the wins that you've had over the last couple of weeks, and things are much, much different. The team is starting to play for each other instead of just playing, and not to say that they weren't selfish, something Coach Carter wanted to make, good point of. They weren't a selfish team, but now you're playing for one another. And when you're going into the GMC after winning now your 10th regular season title, 9th in the GMC, it's obviously something you want to win after losing last year in the semifinal round. This team is starting to find the right temperament at this point. This is one of those games to help them going forward, even though they're down 3-0. It's going to be how they respond here in the second and third.
As you mentioned, too, the Falcons with all those regular season GMC titles, they've also won 6 overall GMC tournament titles. So they have dominated that league. And once again, you got to think they'll be in the mix as they have a first-round bye in the upcoming GMC Cup playoffs as well. So in between periods, it's 3-0 Don Bosco Prep. And a reminder that this hockey game is brought to you by HSS, the #1 hospital for orthopedics. With locations in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, the best is now nearby. Welcome back to the Prudential Center here in Newark, home of the New Jersey Devils. And tonight, home of outstanding high school hockey, Don Bosco Prep leading St. Joe's Metuchen by the score of 3-0. And they continue to clean up the ice. Just about done, so we're not too far away from the start of the second period. Take a look at the Greater Middlesex Conference standings. We talked about St. Joe's dominance in that league over the past 6-7 years, and St. Joe's once again right now they would get the #1 seed. South Brunswick, the Vikings are 6-1, and a team that last year won at Monroe 4-2. So those top 3 teams have all played outstanding hockey so far.
Yeah, Monroe's the team that defeated St. Joe's last season in that semifinal round, but so South Brunswick, of course, Monroe, those are the 2 groups you have to really be the most concerned with, Monroe being the reigning champions. South Brunswick has the 2 seed. They do have the bye here in the first round, and then on the 11th, you have that matchup of 3-6 and 4-5. Winning the GMC, it's very important for them. I mean, they're will be making most likely the state playoff. Obviously, we haven't seen the exact seedings yet. It has not come out, but this is very important to end up winning a GMC title to all of these guys. It means something so much to every player on that ice.
Of course, St. Joe's had won 6 straight between 2012 and 2017, and last year upended by Monroe, as Dan just mentioned, in the semifinals. Don Bosco Prep, they play in New Jersey's toughest high school hockey conference. No question about it, the American division of the Gordon Conference. And look at those 5 teams: Bosco, Del Barton, CBA, Gloucester Catholic, and St. Augustine. That is one tough league, and Bosco is a remarkable 7-1 in that league.
You just don't go 7-1 against these teams. It doesn't happen very often. Del Barton, obviously, with their championship history, they've won the last 2 against Don Bosco. CBA, though, the one loss on that Don Bosco schedule. Gloucester Catholic has always been a good team for year after year. St. Augustine is up there as well, despite the fact that they have a 1-7 conference record, and it kind of, I guess, puts a damper on their overall record because they're a much better team than 3 games below 500. The records in this conference itself really do not do the teams justice in terms of how good they are. But for Don Bosco, I think it shows you how good they are. It separates them from the pack with that 19-1 record and only losing 1 and winning, obviously, 7 of the 8 games they played in conference.
And a look at some of the fans that are here at the spacious Prudential Center for this game tonight between the Falcons and the Ironmen. Getting back to Bosco quickly as we looked at the standings there in the Gordon Conference. Bosco has some very lofty goals this year, and rightfully so. They have played outstanding hockey, but they have not won a Gordon Cup title since 2014. It has been elusive for them, and of course they have never won an overall New Jersey state championship. So, they have 2 goals this year that they want to try to achieve, and it is rarely done that a team wins both the Gordon Cup and the state championship, and I think this Ironman team has as good a chance as any team.
And Coach Bosco is telling us, listen, sometimes people say when you lose in that final to the Gordon Cup, don't worry about it. It wasn't the big one. But no, that is the big one for them, too. It has been a while, even with the Bergen County Championship, but they just won again for the 8th straight time. You know, there's 3 goals every single season. The 3 that they set, a Bergen, a Gordon, and a state. And so far, they've only been able to accomplish one of those, at least this season, one in the last couple of years, since it has been a while since a Gordon Cup has been won, and still that big goose egg with the state titles, which of course creates a great storyline once again coming into the season. They're okay talking about it, but listen, this is a very good hockey team. They know it. They know the monkey's going to be on their back until they win a state title. They know it's going to be tough going into the Gordon Cup, and if they get themselves to the final, if they lose in the final, now everyone's going to start saying, oh, hey, well, maybe this team isn't as good as we think. It kind of overhype maybe a loss in arguably one of the toughest couple of games that you will see on the schedule anywhere. So it's kind of interesting when you look at Don Bosco and how good they have been and how these goals are set. And they might not accomplish all 3 this year, but they still could be considered the best team in the state.
Meanwhile, St. Joe's, they've had their success as well. 24 state tournament appearances, 10 straight regular season titles in the GMC, of course the 6-time GMC champs as we mentioned. They've also won 2 Egan Cups in 2016 and 2017. Last year they did qualify for the state tournament and they got to the Sweet 16. So St. Joe's a little bit more experience this year. They feel they can make a little bit of a further run in the state tournament. And here come the Ironmen back onto the ice. And getting back to Bosco, you know, we mentioned they haven't won any state championships, Dan, but they've been to the finals, of course. Last year, they played in the final right here in this building in front of 6,000 fans, lost to Del Barton. They lost to Del Barton in 2013, 17, and 18. And there's always a big possibility that could be another state championship matchup once again this year.
Every one of those games have been fun to watch. I mean, we were here right before we were doing the 2nd and 3rd state championship games and watching the Don Bosco game against Del Barton because you wanted to see that. That's the one you really wanted to watch also. You don't want to miss that one even though we weren't doing the game. And, you know, there was some questionable calls there, and yes, the final score was 4-2, but that was a tight game throughout. Everyone was very intense from start to finish during that game. You could just watch in the stands. And then the year prior, we were at the Menin Arena, which, of course, is not the biggest that you will see, but it was jam-packed and, you know, it was a ruckus crowd. To be able to come back here, though, once again, and have that experience and have guys on this team like the captains who have played in 2 of those, it really just shows the maturation. They all want to be that first group that ever gets a chance to hoist a New Jersey State Championship.
And in that game last year, which they lost to Del Barton, Bosco actually outshot the Green Wave 36-18 in that final. There's a look at Max Schwartz, who took over for a terrific goalkeeper in Alexei Masenko, who was an all-state, first-team all-state goalie.
And just committed to Manhattanville recently. Congratulations.
Yeah. And last year, 2 players from that team last year were first-team all-state players. Alexei Masenko, Mickey Burns, who committed to the University of Vermont. And pretty tough for a team to take that kind of hit to graduation, but hasn't affected the Ironmen too much. They're 19-1.
It helps when you establish that kind of a program that you want to come play your hockey at Don Bosco. It's just that simple. St. Joe's has also been one of those programs. Yes, they've had a lot of guys go on to play college hockey, to play at the next level. You know, the statistic that they have on their website, more than 40% of their players go on to play college hockey. And guess what? They also have a professional player who just won a cup, John Carlson.
Yes.
So it is possible. It's a great culture.
With the Caps last year. And we're underway here in period number 2. Don Bosco Prep up by the score of 3-0. What does St. Joe's have to do to try to creep back into this game?
You got to find a way of getting the puck deep and start using that speed. Of course, you need to worry about the turnovers too, but plays like this can help.
Backhand shot taken by Connor Kazmarek. transfer out of Hunterdon Central High School, has been a big plus to this team this year. Sophomore, 3 goals and 9 assists. Bosco races in, knocked away. Good defense, then Bosco retrieves, but that good defense by Matt Samarelli to knock it loose. Face off will come back. Just underway, first minute of play here in period 2.
Even just that last thing, you look at this, the breakout and bringing it up the ice, it's so difficult to have the numbers down deep and also stay in a position. And when you try and overextend sometimes, because Don Bosco is so stout defensively, you have to be concerned of letting up a 3-on-0 or 4-on-0 the other way.
Bosco wins the face-off, and it's knocked back to center ice, going back to play Jake Gerasi. Gerasi pokes at it, and Ryan Ozamanek trying to get there as well for the Falcons. Feed in front. Bosco is so quick defensively, though, gets back. And icing the call. Face-off will come back in the Bosco zone.
There haven't been a ton of face-offs in this end of the ice. Now you have to win one. Get some cycle moving and get some more shots on net. And I'm not talking about just throwing anything on net. I'm talking about getting a quality shot. It's been a while, and it's been tough for them to really do anything against Max Schwartz.
Up ahead quickly comes Robbie Greenleaf, who had a big first period, and the goal comes off its moorings, so whistle blows.
It's just the transition game Don Bosco Prep is so good at. They have speed, nice little saucer passes. Couldn't put it on, and you end up having a St. Joe's player fall right into his net, which stops any opportunity for a second chance. Greenleaf's had himself a real good game, and really a lot of these guys for Don Bosco have.
Face off to the left of Eddie Caven. Controlled by the Ironman. Schweigert sends it across, and that shot whistles wide of the goal. Played by Sedlak. Tyler Sedlak keeps it in at the blue line, then stolen by St. Joe's. Joey Morelli takes the shot, and then the goal once again comes off its moorings as Max Schwartz made the initial stop. But a nice play by Morello as he carried deep against that Bosco D.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who has contributed a ton this season for them, a junior, and plays on this top line with Bradshaw and Matei. They have good chemistry, and they were a group that were freshmen and playing together on the JV squad.
Matt Samarelli unable to keep it in at the blue line. And here come the Ironmen as they strip it away. Up ahead, Schweigert carries in for Bosco. Hit by Dean Rocco behind the goal. Rocco flips it out of the corner, but kept alive by the Ironmen. In front, and a save made by Caven. Caven able to rob Hunter McGee that time. But Bosco gets it right back. Tyler Sedlak, crossing pass. No one home on the receiving end. And the whistle blows the play dead.
It's a good save by Caven because guess what? Once again, a guy right below the D and nobody's near him at that point. You cannot allow a player to be sitting right on the goal line to be able to do whatever he wants. It almost looks like a power play at that point, and then you're going to have a breakdown almost every single time.
12.5 remaining second period. Don Bosco Prep up by the score of 3-0. Played by St. Joe's. Ty Carter sends it ahead and flips it all the way down the ice. Max Schwartz plays it behind the goal. It comes back outside to Nick Smythe of St. Joe's. And intercepted by Bosco. An opportunity here for the Ironman. Shot is saved by Caven. So Connor Sedlak had an opportunity. Good job by St. Joe's.
We honor the younger brother of Tyler. Ton of speed. Actually, that maybe could have been a call, but Either way, Sedlak was so quick, and that's what the forwards do so well. They get right on top of the D-man and make it so difficult for them to make a decision quickly. Sedlak, who is coming off a shoulder surgery coming into this year, point production maybe not as high as he would like, but they have loved his game.
Nice play by Ty Carter, though. Did not give up on the play and stayed right with Sedlak on that breakaway. St. Joe's with possession. And here come the Falcons as they flip it up ahead. Schwartz comes out to play the puck. And the Ironmen coming back the other way. Jake Howard skates in front, fires and scores. Jake Howard with a blast. Fires it past Eddie Caven, and Bosco goes up 4-0.
Well, you look at the last play, and just as St. Joe's is bringing it up the ice, again, they're pushing him against those half walls so well and allowing a transition the other direction. And what Howard does, he's a guy who, again, doesn't have a ton of points this season in terms of goal scoring, just a sophomore. But boy, what a shot that he releases there. Gets himself into the slot and buries it for a 4-0 advantage.
His second goal of the season, and one he'll always remember, coming here at the Prudential Center. 11:20 remaining in the second. All Bosco so far. Michael Rubin plays it for the Ironman and gives to Jake Gerasi, who delivers back to Rubin. Stolen away by Kazmarek of St. Joseph. And Mark Borek tries to keep it in. Bosco trying to clear it out. Pass comes to center ice. Karam's all the way down the sideline and all the way down for icing.
So Sedlak and Shores are going to pick up the assist on that. And guess what? Max in between the pipes. He has 4 assists this season. 4 assists from a netminder. And sometimes, yes, secondary assists can be a little bit too much, but he really is just so good with the puck on his stick and so comfortable with the puck on his stick for a goalie.
Puck sails all the way through. A breakaway opportunity here for Bosco. The shot goes wide of the goal. Taken by Ignatov. He's upset with himself.
I don't think he's upset with himself. I think he's saying it was in the net. He thought it went underneath the bar and came right back down. Sometimes from that angle, that shot gets right up in there, and you don't really see it because it happens so quickly. Nobody's calling Toronto here, though. What would you call it in New Jersey? Where were the headquarters?
You'd have to call Robbinsville, which is where the NJSIAA
there it
headquarters are. I don't think there's anybody there tonight. Of course, everyone down at the NJSIA is like, Lou, please don't tell people to call us.
It will happen. That's the problem.
Ironmen trying to get it out of their own end, and St. Joe's working hard, down by 4. Gavin Tangi creating some havoc back there. Sedlak sends it all the way up the ice, but it's a 2-line pass, and it will come back.
He was offsides by at least 4 or 5 feet, if not more. But still a heck of a pass to McGlinskey. Now, McGlinskey, even though he's got a lot of good points here, and look at this pass one more time. Oh, yeah, it was ahead of the play.
Yeah.
I don't think he held the right skate on that line.
Again, Ironmen carry in. McGlinskey leaves it back. Intercepted by St. Joe's. Crossing pass. Skips all the way up ahead. And Ryan Ozamanek tries to chase it for the Falcons. Approaching the 9-minute mark remaining in the second. And Bosco with a comfortable 4-0 lead at the moment. Ironmen showing why they are the #1 team in New Jersey so far this season. It has been a dominant year for the Ironmen.
Averaging 5 goals a game, holding opponents under 2 per contest. Of course, we've spoken about just the one loss this year, but it's everything that they do, and everything they do seems to be right. You know, in high school hockey especially, it's not often when you have 4 complete lines and 6 guys who can play on D, 3 pairs that you feel comfortable at any given moment. Well, Don Bosco is really one of those teams that they can feel at any given moment. Their 4th line is just as good as really a lot of other teams' first line. They don't really feel like they have a 3rd or 4th line. They feel like they have 3 second lines out there.
Zach Hammond goes back to play it for the Ironmen. That pass a little bit too far for Robbie Greenleaf. And offside call. 8 minutes, 19 seconds remaining. 4-0. Don Bosco Prep.
And that line in particular has been good tonight. The Hammond-Greenleaf line. And there's going to be a goaltending change. As we'll see, Nick Adams, the sophomore, come on in and man the pipes.
So Adams gets a chance to play here on the Prudential Center ice. Nick Adams, a sophomore. He's in goal now for the Falcons. St. Joe's intercepts at center ice, flipped up ahead, played by Kazmarek. Bosco trying to clear it out. Kazmarek again able to get over there. St. Joe's keeps it alive, and the shot taken by Borisov is wide.
This is the line that needs to get going for them. They're young, but they have a ton of chemistry together. Kazmarek and Borisov play together, playing junior hockey.
Ty Carter trying to get over there defensively for St. Joe's. Instead, that shot is deflected off of one of the Falcons in front. Never got to Adams. Intercepted by Connor Sedlak. He sends it ahead. We've not had a penalty yet in this game. Been a very clean game here between the Falcons and the Ironmen. 7:20 remaining in the second period. Ty Carter carries up ahead for St. Joseph's. Ty Carter trying to push his way through. Delivers a hit. Intercepted again by the Falcons. That shot goes just wide, deflected to the side of the goal. In front, shot stopped by Schwartz. What a play by Schwartz as he lost his stick and got a piece of it.
Dean Rocco, the defenseman, moving up in the play, and he found himself down low because of that forced turnover. Hit the left bar, though.
St. Joe's putting on some heat, and a slap shot is stopped short of the goal. Gavin Tangi took that shot. Here comes Bosco the other way, covered up by Nick Adams.
Miklinski getting one-on-one, but only because of this save in the other direction by Schwartz. The first time he was really tested today. You know, you force a turnover, and then all of a sudden, there's Dean Rocco. He's down low on the paint and tries to whiffle that one off, and then you bring it back the other way, and before you know it, one of the most dangerous guys. He tried the little fake to see if he can just slide it right underneath Nick Adams. Saw what he was trying to do. Go 5-hole with that, where you kind of delay it, you let it slide right through.
Poked away. St. Joe's has a 2-on-1 opportunity. Gavin Tangi sets it up in front, steered aside by Schwartz, and he covers up.
Great defensive play. Damien Carfagna, the sophomore who this year has really excelled throughout. Makes a real good play, just takes his guy into the corner, gets himself in the passing lane, and then still finds himself in position. If not, it's just what Don Bosco does. It's so impressive.
Will Fortescue gives to Sedlak. Sedlak in the corner, circles around. His pass is deflected, but Bosco keeps it alive. Kept alive by Schweigert inside the blue line. Sedlak winds up, fires it wide. Now at the blue line, St. Joe's trying to carry across. Mike McElwain, the sophomore. Schweigert carries in, 5.5 remaining in the second. Shot deflected in front, taken by Miklinski, and St. Joe's the other way. They have a 3-on-2 if they hurry, but it is disrupted by Schweigert. He's so tough defensively. Very talented player, both defensively and offensively for the Ironmen. In front, and a good job by Norman Matei to kind of tie up the Ironmen in front of the goal. St. Joe's keeps it alive. Bosco pokes it away. Matt Samarelli pokes it back to center ice for the Falcons. St. Joe's up ahead again, a 2-on-1. And again, Schwartz makes the save as Joe Morello took the shot.
And they were trying to bait him and see if they can just take the shot. I think it was a smart decision to at that point. Got him right up in the mask.
Dean Rocco with a nice circle at the blue line, then drives in and shoots it up high over the crossbar. St. Joe's putting on some pressure here, down by 4, trying to get on the scoreboard. Back to center ice, and played all the way down. And icing the call.
Well, how about Dean Rocco the last couple of minutes? I mean, he's been getting himself down low and getting some shots off. Older brother Mike now at Lawrenceville. But he's still wearing the green here. That was a good shot opportunity there by Matei, who came in, and that's the one who put it right off the mask before. You know, it's just so tough because there's so few chances at the moment, and when you start getting those 2-on-1s, you sometimes panic in a way because you're not used to it.
There's Greenleaf, skates in, takes the shot, save made by Adams.
Yeah, he's a little slow coming up. He went hard into the boards after taking a bump.
St. Joe's tried to feed Borisov, but Bosco got back defensively. Ty Carter loses the puck. Carter then able to get back to it momentarily. Bosco still keeping it in. St. Joe's trying to clear it out, but it's taken away, and then off the glove of Adams.
Hammond forcing another turnover, and of course you hope everyone's okay on that bench. And especially after going into the boards the way Greenleaf just did. Already with the 2 goals tonight. But this group overall has gotten production, seemed like, from everyone. That guy already has a goal tonight, Tyler Sedlak. You know, we've seen his shot a few times this evening be unleashed. It is really impressive. This group has a few All-State guys on their roster, that is for sure.
Tyler Sedlak has had some big games this year. 4 goals against Bergen Catholic, 3 goals against CBA. That shot deflected. Sedlak gets to it. Crossing pass, beautiful, right on the stick. Ironman had it set up, but could not get a good shot off. Miklinski just didn't get all of it.
And so far, Nick Adams coming in has kept the score at 4-0. Coming in at that 8:19 mark, so he's played about 5 minutes and has faced a lot. He's faced a few breakaways, he's faced some one-timers, he's faced a few shots coming after him, you know, straight on. Pretty good so far.
Crossing pass, and that skips right under the stick of Hunter McGee. Sedlak digs it out. Comes back to the blue line. Gerasi. Miklinski keeps it alive, and then it's knocked away. Excellent defensive play by Ozamanek. He carries in for the Falcons. Winds up, takes the shot. It is stopped again by Max Schwartz.
Ozamanek a couple of times today has been able to find himself free into the offensive third. And here he comes, you know, throwing that breaks, gets the first one blocked, stay with it, and tries to go short side again. But that's just good positioning, you know, getting right on top of the crease, taking away a good angle of the shot. That's why he's one of the top goalies in the state.
2 minutes, 27 seconds remaining in the second period. Don Bosco Prep with a 4-0 lead. Ironmen carry across. Drop pass, shot, score! Mark Garfinkel puts it home for the Ironmen. And Bosco takes a 5-0 lead.
Again, play happens one more time because you're bringing it from one end of the ice to the other. forcing the turnover, then getting to your guys. Quick little drop pass, and then fires a top shelf. That's a heck of a shot right there from Garfinkel for his 4th of the season. Converted defenseman, moving up to the front lines, playing wing. They have a few converted defensemen on this group, and it sometimes helps your team because they're so smart back there and good skaters.
Crossing pass in front, shot, score! Another goal. This time, it is Connor Sedlak who puts it home. His 7th of the season. And just like that, the Ironmen go up 6-0 with a minute 58 remaining in the second.
Well, it takes less than 20 seconds to get it right back. Cross-ice pass again. They've been so good at going board to board here. And Sedlak a little bit too easy for him, as he had a great opportunity. Not a lot of time, of course, to make a decision when you're already down low. So just fired one on. He's got a good shot. And with the lefty blade, puts it right in for a 6-0 lead.
So St. Joe's trying to get something going here to just get something positive to go into the 3rd period with. The Falcons, as we said, have been playing outstanding hockey, but they have run into, without question, the #1 team in the state of New Jersey, and they certainly are showing it here tonight.
And if this score, of course, holds up in the final 15, that's going to be their 4th consecutive 20-win season. Not a lot of teams, do that. It really doesn't happen very often in this state, and especially in the Gordon.
Minute and a half remaining in the second. Face off to the right of Nick Adams, who came in relief of Eddie Caven. Race to the puck, and Ozamanik, actually Danny Bradshaw, ridden off the puck. Going back to retrieve it, Norman Matei. Matei has it knocked away from him. Falcons trying to flip it up from center ice. Bosco doing a good job converging. 1 minute left in the second. Intercepted by Bradshaw at center ice. And re-intercepted by Troy Clement of Don Bosco. Here's Schweigert. Carries in. Crossing pass. St. Joe's just can't seem to get it out of their own end as Adams goes back to play it behind the goal. Danny Bradshaw slaps it up ahead, but again kept in by the Ironmen. Sasso plays it, bangs it along the boards, and it goes all the way down. 10 seconds left in the second period. And that will do it. A strong second period for the Ironmen of Don Bosco Prep. They will skate into the third with a 6-goal lead. All Bosco. And tonight's game brought to you by HSS, the #1 hospital for orthopedics, with locations in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. The best is now nearby. Bosco leads it 6-0 here on News 12 Varsity. Well, as we get ready for period number 3, the second period, an outstanding period for the Ironmen. They were dominant.
Yeah, they really were, and they did it in so many different ways, using that speed and getting themselves into the corner. Now, Sedlak won't score here, but they were able to move the puck, get shots into the slot, and that was one of the things that happened really all night. You started to see them, with those crisp passes, and all of a sudden it opens it up. This is the best chance probably they had all day in Borisov, and he whistled it high and wide, and that was another issue there. Sasso right there, right on the post, same exact thing. So when you're just looking at the way this game has gone, you haven't seen the same opportunities for the Falcons throughout, Lou, and I think that's one of the things that has kind of hurt them. They haven't been able to really maneuver cover as much as they possibly can, because the minute they get a chance, they're either missing it or getting stopped. And then for Don Bosco, just, circling the puck so well and getting it from tape to tape and finding the back of the net.
So we get ready to go to the third period. Don Bosco Prep looking to go 20-1 on the year and looking to win their 17th straight game. And St. Joe's down by 6 goals. Well, what do they have to do, Dan, to try to get on the scoreboard?
Obviously, it's a big mountain to climb when you're down 6-0, but listen, sometimes this could help a team with the ice surface the way it's going to be here in the third. I know it's a minor thing, but NHL ice is a little bit different than sometimes the high school rinks that you see around the country. They're not cutting the ice this period, not resurfacing it at all. So sometimes you might get maybe the extra snow buildup, which might actually help you because you maybe aren't going to be able to get the crisp movement that you're seeing from Don Bosco. So you have to be able to do that and get yourself down low. You got to get below the goal line. Defensively, of course, you have to always be aware where you are. You don't want to open up the game a little bit too much, but when you have guys on this ice who have been scoring pretty much at will, and Greenleaf having 2 of them back in that first period, number 24 you see right there in the center of your screen, he's not the only one. There's a lot of guys for Don Bosco that know how to be able to contain you, know how to be able to open up the ice, but when you look at what St. Joe's is today, their goaltenders have just had a tough time. They haven't had a ton of help, but they've come up with some timely saves at points.
Nick Adams, who came in relief of Eddie Caven. And you're right, Dan, both goalkeepers actually have played very well for St. Joe's. It doesn't look that way on the surface, having given up 6 goals, but they've made some nice saves. Just that Bosco has just been swarming in front of the net.
Listen, some of the saves, rebound control for some of them in the first couple of goals. Yeah, maybe you want to get a stop here and there, or there was a shot here or there, wrist shot right over you. It happens, though. Remember, these are not professional athletes, as they always say, and something like Ryan Carter even told them going into this game. Remember, just because we're playing here at an NHL rink and just because Don Bosco has all the hype as being possibly the top team in this state, they're still high school kids. They're the same as you. They still go to class. They still do their same schedule. They still play hockey, go to practice, go home, do their chores. It's the same exact thing. So go out there, have some fun, and play your game. That's really all it is. And you have to remember that, even though you're playing this building, enjoy what is out there at this moment.
A great look at the Prudential Center, which has been a great home to high school hockey here in the great state of New Jersey. They had over 6,000 here last year for the final. And at one point back in 2015 for the championship between CBA and Del Barton, they drew over 9,000 here for that championship game.
And even last year, Lou, remember, each team, it felt like had more and more and more. And they had the carryover sometimes between the 2 games because they were so stacked. But it is so cool. When you see almost the entire lower bowl packed out, almost every single seat, and then you get that high school student body element adding into that factor, it really is something special.
So third period underway. Bosco skating in, untouched was Mark Garfinkel, but a nice job by Adams to disrupt the play. Just about 1 minute gone by in the third. And St. Joe's, good defense by Dean Rocco to knock it loose. Up ahead, here's the shot, save made by Schwartz. As Ivan Borisov took it in, got off a good shot, and then ended up crashing into the boards behind the goal.
I think he kind of rushed the shot against Kevin Rose, who again is the new netminder. They were expected to split tonight. Maybe not. I mean, he had his chance. He had a good look there. I originally thought maybe he just rushed it because it just seems like they're so anxious to get it off, because there's going to be an Ironman defender who's going to, be right on top of you at some given moment.
Kevin Rose, a sophomore, 94% save percentage, 1.13 goals against average. He's 2-0 on the year. So he gets an opportunity to play here at the Prudential Center, and more than likely, he'll be the starting goalie next year for the Ironmen.
And I really like his game. Third string guy last year as a freshman, and has been very solid as the backup this year.
Great job by Max Schwartz, who was terrific throughout the first 2 periods tonight for the Ironmen.
And right now in line to win his 17th game of the season. How about that? 17-1 record at this point.
Bosco trying to clear it out of their own zone. They have a 6-goal lead. Looking to put this one in the win column, win their 20th. And up ahead, Ozamatic for St. Joe's makes a nice move, but back there defensively, Will Fortescue able to play him. Ozamatic keeps it alive. Shot, score! Oh, what a shot by Sedlak. Tyler Sedlak with a rifle shot up over the shoulder of Nick Adams.
Oh, we spoke about it before in the start of this game. He's got an NHL-like shot, and here he is. Takes it right up the right boards and just unleashes a shot. He has Sasso standing right there as well, kind of uses him as a screen, but that quick release is just something you really don't see as often as a goalie in high school hockey. That quick of a release. Such a good shooter.
Tyler Sedlak drawing interest from the likes of Holy Cross and Bentley.
Now he may end up going the NAHL route, Northern American League, and that's fine. A lot of guys do that. You see a lot of college hockey players who go that route, take pretty much the year, and then they commit the year after that. And we're going to see our very first power play of the contest.
So the penalty against St. Joseph. Norman Matei heads to the box. And Bosco will go on the power play. They're 32% on the power plays this year. Already up 7-0. Cross ice pass. Just under 12 minutes remaining in the third. Fortescue sends it across. Tripping is the call, by the way. Fortescue, backhand pass. Knocked in. St. Joe's can't clear it. Now they finally are able to get it out of the zone. Kevin Rose comes over to play it for the Ironmen. And he gives to Will Fortescue. And Bosco will bring it up. Cross ice pass. Poked at by the Falcons. Goes behind the goal. 1 minute left on the power play. 11 minutes remaining in the third period. And St. Joe's able to take it away. Good job getting back defensively. Will Fortescue knocked it away from Danny Bradshaw. Bradshaw was bidding for a shorthanded opportunity.
That puck is bouncing so much this period. You could already tell in less than 5 minutes into it. Just the way the ice is going to be, it's a little tougher to move the puck up. You almost have to keep it on your stick yourself. Can't get too fancy.
Dmitry Ignatov takes it in here for the Ironman. Tried a drop pass that was intercepted by Bradshaw. Bradshaw carries it for the Falcons. Takes the shot. Stick save made by Rose. Bosco trying to center, but it's cleared out by the Falcons, and Rose steers it aside. Penalty has expired. Good job by St. Joe's to kill that off.
They really only had that chance to set up in the beginning and get that power play going. You know, you whistle a shot up high. Then St. Joe's is pretty tenacious, getting the puck deep and smart with some of their decision making.
Nine minutes, 40 seconds remaining in the third. Don Bosco Prep up 7-0. Of course, the Bosco hockey team having a great season. Basketball program as well. Another outstanding season for them. And a big week for Don Bosco. The announcement made that Dan Sabella will be the new head coach of the Don Bosco Prep football program. Kicked away that time by Nick Adams. Sabella, longtime coach at Paramus High School, where he made them into a public school power, and then Paramus Catholic, of course, where he made the Paladins into a power, a state power. He takes over from Mike Teal, who resigned in late January. Ironmen lose the puck here. St. Joe's brings it up. Falcons, of course, would just love to get on the board. Rocco with a crossing pass. Played there by Connor Kazmarek. Intercepted by Borisov, who centers. And Dean Rocco took the shot, but it was deflected. Another shot that whistles well wide of the goal. 8 minutes remaining in the third. Here's Borisov, takes the shot, it goes wide. And St. Joe's working hard to try to break the shutout. Ty Carter flips it back in. Intercepted by the Ironmen, who carry up ahead. Drop pass for Garfinkel, who has a goal already here tonight. Another shot off the chest, and the rebound slapped in by Connor Sedlak. So Adams made the initial stop, but the rebound came loose, and Connor Sedlak slaps it in.
So both Sedlaks having a couple of tallies tonight and just staying with the play, straight up. You know, you get the shot out high, and there's Sedlak finds himself loose because there was a St. Joe's player who lost his twig. And it gives it a little extra space for Connor. Nets in his second of the game, 8th of the season. That's 3 goals in his last 2 now, and extending this lead to 8-0.
A dominant, powerful performance tonight by Don Bosco Prep. Don Bosco Prep figures to be the #1 seed in the upcoming Gordon Cup playoffs, which begin next week, by the way. If you ask the Ironmen, their season's just beginning. So they will be in the Gordon Cup tournament beginning next week, and then of course the state tournament will begin the last week of February. High sticking penalty called on Gavin Tangi of St. Joe's. So Bosco will go on another power play opportunity. 7 minutes remaining. Up top, Will Fortescue. That one whistles up high over the crossbar. Liam McClinsky taking that cannon shot. McClinsky had a big game earlier this year. 4 goals and 2 assists in 1 game against Gloucester Catholic. Crossing pass deflected by the Falcons. 6.5 remaining in the third. Tyler Sedlak, cross ice to Fortescue.
Couple different looks from this power play. Now back to the 1-3-1.
And Tyler Sedlak trying a one-timer to the side of the goal, but it skips off his stick. Jake Howard carries in. He's got a goal here tonight. So many weapons on this Bosco team.
It's just a deep, deep roster. You know, it goes through and through, and I know you have 2 guys who have more than 50 points up there with McGlinski and Sedlak, and those are the 2 that get a lot of hype.
Here's an opportunity, backhand shot taken by Norman Matei, but he just couldn't get enough on it. Now Matei dumps it back to the side of the goal. Joe Morello there got a piece of it, and the Ironmen break out up ahead. This is Michael Rubin, sends it across. 20 seconds still on the power play. And St. Joe's clears it out to center ice. Jake Girassi goes over to play it. 10 seconds left on the penalty. Dumped into the corner. Final 5 seconds. And St. Joe's kills it off. Rubin takes the shot, gets it back. Another stop made by Adams, and he's able to cover up.
Both of these groups have not stopped moving. You love to see that, especially on the St. Joe's side. Down the score they are, and really it's right now the largest deficit they've had all season. Matei has kept going. Morello has kept going. This guy Nick Adams in between the pipes has kept going since coming in around that 8-minute mark of the middle frame.
Yeah, no quit in Ryan Carter's team. They have played with a lot of enthusiasm tonight, but of course they are just going up against a team that's playing at a different level.
And they were really excited coming into today, Lou. They really were. And so you like to see, actually kept asking, was it the practice rink or are we playing on the real rink? It's the real rink. It's the real NHL rink.
Well, a great opportunity for the Falcons. A memory, even though they're losing this one 8-0. And it is a great moment for these kids to say that, hey, you know, we played on that ice.
Brought it up before a little bit, but Don Bosco Prep, it's something that's very important to them, these kind of experiences. And both of these groups, they play each other every single year anyway. Getting a chance to play here at the Prudential Center.
Coach Bosco hoping that this is not their last trip here this year.
That's for sure.
In front. Shot goes wide again to the side of the goal. Bosco still working hard. Michael Forgione keeps it alive. St. Joe's finally able to clear it out. It comes all the way down, but that'll be icing. 3 minutes, 37 seconds remaining. Third period. Don Bosco Prep in impressive fashion up 8-0. A look at Ryan Carter, head coach of the Falcons in his 12th season.
One of just 4 players in this program's history to have those all-state honors. And a coach for over a decade now. Knows the culture, understands the importance of the culture of this program.
And as we said, in those 12 seasons, he has won 6 Greater Middlesex Conference championships. He's done a terrific job with this program. Kevin Rose, sophomore.
Different kind of goalie than Max is. Different kind of person as well. A little more quieter, a little more reserved. And that yin and yang, but it also, as it happens when you also get a sophomore in there sometimes, you know, when you're younger, you're just a little quieter, a little shyer until you start growing into your role.
Bosco brings it up. Slap shot that is saved by Nick Adams. Less than 3 minutes now left.
You know, we could talk about the goal scoring all day with Don Bosco Prep, but I think the defense has just been as impressive. It takes away almost any chance for an opposition to do basically anything. I mean, they smother you, and their D is very, very dangerous as well.
That shot deflected to the side of the goal.
You know, they move up into play at the smart times, and that's something that sometimes you have to be weary of with some defensemen, especially when they're a little bit younger. Are they a little too happy to move up into the play, or are they going to be able to be smart and know when to pick your times? And they have a lot of guys on this group that just know how to do that, as well as underclassmen who play much older than they are, like Connor Sedlak right there, who's just a sophomore. You know, Carfagna, just a sophomore. I mean, you have a few of these guys who are underclassmen. Zach Hammond, another one. And they all play integral roles on this group.
Dean Rocco carries up ahead for the Falcons, but his pass intercepted by Jake Girassi. And a crossing pass, beautifully done. Right on the stick, almost had an opportunity there for Arthur Zimmerman, who was in front of the goal. Rocco comes back the other way for St. Joe's. Leaves a drop pass for Tangi, but too far for him. Final 2 minutes of the game. Bosco up 8-0. Fortescue skates in. Knife through 3 defenders, then a whole bunch of players come together in front of the goal. And St. Joe's the other way. Crossing pass. The shot is deflected, taken by Tangi. Minute 20 left. Joe Morello sends it up ahead. Intercepted at center ice by Greenleaf. Rocco keeps it alive. Final minute. Shot kick save made by Kevin Rose. Bosco trying to clear it out, trying to preserve the shutout. St. Joe stays on the puck in front. Here's the shot, save made by Rose.
Sasso, Morello, so hungry. Bradshaw getting a shot off here in the waning seconds.
Sedlak goes across the ice with the pass. Knocked away. Final 10 seconds of the game. St. Joe's might get one more shot. Let's see. And a good job defensively by Bosco to ride him off the puck. Michael Rubin, and that will do it. Don Bosco Prep defeats St. Joseph Metuchen 8-0. The Ironmen are 20-1 on the year. They have won 17 straight games, and another big game for that number 17, Tyler Sedlak. And tonight's game was brought to you by HSS, the #1 hospital for orthopedics, with locations in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. The best is now nearby. Back in a few moments to talk about Bosco's big 8-0 victory on News 12 Varsity. Welcome back to the Prudential Center. Big win for the Ironmen of Don Bosco Prep as they shut out St. Joe's Metuchen by the score of 8-0. And now time for the News 12 Varsity Player of the Game. And our player of the game is senior Tyler Sedlak. Tyler, Lou Brogno and Dan Savarino, glad you could join us. Congratulations on the victory. 20 wins now for this team this season. Talk about how big of a win this was and getting 20 on the year.
Yeah, I mean, this was our last regular season game, and we obviously go into the season. We start in late November, and our goal is to not only win every game, but obviously to get to the ultimate goals, which is to win the state championship. And you kind of take it one game at a time. And yeah, we dropped one kind of early to CBA, and then we're, I think, on a little roll now. I believe we're 16 straight, and each game we try to get better and better, and I think that's what we're doing right now. We're producing offense, and clearly the 0 today and then the 2 yesterday shows we're doing something right on defense as well. So we just got to keep getting better and better game in and game out, and we'll be all right.
Tyler, impressive performance today, no doubt. 200, though, to hit that number for you in this program, which, of course, has so many great players. What does it mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's really special. It's, special thanks, honestly, just goes out to my teammates. I mean, it's not just me, it's everybody around me. It's people I play with. Thanks to the coaches as well for just giving me the opportunity ever since the start. And, yeah, no, it's awesome for sure.
Well, Tyler, congratulations once again. Good luck to you and the Ironmen in the upcoming Gordon Cup tournament and the state tournament as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, Tyler Sedlak, our News 12 Varsity Player of the game. And now time to take a look at the News 12 Varsity Play of the Game.
Well, it was in the second period. It was already 4-0, and then here comes Mark Garfinkel. Comes right across that blue line after taking a little touch pass and buries one right over the shoulder to extend this lead to 5-zip. Heck of a wrist shot. Tons of good goals tonight. A lot of dirty goals as well. But this one just really showed the passing ability that comes from Don Bosco Prep and how well they share the puck and move the puck quickly.
So Don Bosco Prep wins it big, defeating St. Joe's here at the Rock by the score of 8-0. Ironmen go to 20-1 on the year. They now have won 17 straight, and both teams now get ready for their cup tournaments and state tournaments as well. That'll do it tonight from the Prudential Center in Newark. For our entire News 12 Varsity team and Dan Savarino, I'm Lou Brogno. Thanks so much for joining us. Once again, your final score tonight from the Rock: Don Bosco Prep 8, St. Joseph 0.